I was at Kingston Night Market a few days ago on Tuesday. It's been 30 years that Sizzla Kalonji has been in the music industry. He had an event on Sunday. He was actually at Kingston Night Market on Tuesday and it was free to go. It's always free to go. But the fact that Sizzla was going to be there and it was still free, I was like, nothing now stopped me. He was amazing. He just so humble. And then he came on and sang like a few of his songs, and the songs that he sang, I was like, oh my gosh. I spoke to him for a bit. His lyrics, words, music, I'm inspired every day. There are a lot of Rastafarian artists out right now, but nothing like Sizzla, nothing like Capleton, Richie Spice, Warrior King, Boogle, Buju. Like their words, I don't know. I just feel like some of the Rastafarian artists remind me of fashion rastas. Apart from Chronix is a beautiful old soul. He's like timeless and he's got a beautiful voice. And I love the way he translate words into worship, love, conscious lyrics. His words, they're teaching and they're intentional. So being at Kingston Night Market and seeing Sizzla, he got a gift from Kingston Night Market, an artistic drawing of him. It was amazing. And then we heard Sizzla speak and I was just like listening. It was so intentional and relevant. When Sizzla was talking, he was talking about nation building, reverence and being humble and recognizing just how important our culture is, and we as Black people to support each other, to help each other, to know about and understand our culture and our history. I really enjoyed listening to him after he got the gift. And then he didn't leave, he just went and sat at the back and just relaxed and chilled. I was able to see drumming as well. I was like, oh my gosh. I thought I was in Africa when it was happening. It's not even about thinking that you're in Africa, Natalie. This is your culture. What you see right now with Jamaicans dancing, listening to drumming, it is our ancestors. That's our culture. And I could just feel the energy, rising up in me. Like I did want to go and dance. When I was watching them dance, I was like, that's exactly how I would be dancing. I could see me dancing up in the fields and in the hillsides on the mountains. And you know what I mean? I'd just be doing my things with my shoes off and just feeling it. I got to witness a Japanese Rasta doing drumming as well. It was an amazing time at Kingston Night Market. And these are the things that I love in Kingston. I recommend anybody to move to Kingston if you're used to the city life. Be wise about the dangers of living in Kingston. But no, it's not the roughest and most dangerous place to live ever. That's just foolishness. And that's what I was taught when living in England. It's the wrong narrative. The narrative should be anywhere and everywhere that you live always has danger. There are different degrees of danger. Just be cautious and be intentional about where you're living and what you're doing and how you live. I moved to Kingston from Montego Bay. I was relocated for a job. There were really, really good jobs in Kingston. Montego Bay is Kent to me and Kingston was London. So there was more jobs advertised. I like living in Kingston because it's like living in the city. You can call it a concrete jungle. There's more access to things here. Things are open longer. There's more supermarkets. Shops are open longer. More restaurants here. Things are a bit more central. You don't need a car to live in Kingston. There's more taxis that run. Living in Kingston, I have really enjoyed. I would recommend if anybody's looking to move to Jamaica and you need to have access to things more often, move to Kingston. I'm sure there are narratives in the news, don't move to Kingston. Kingston is the most dangerous place in the world because that's what I heard living in the UK. I've lived there for 10 years in Kingston. I'm still alive. Yes, there's curfews in place in and around Kingston. There's a curfew not far from me, but I still feel safe because I'm smart enough and intuitive enough to know where to go, where not to go. The nightlife is amazing. If you are somebody that works in the city or likes the city life, there's lots of activities to go to in the city. There's lots of places to go. You've got Crew Bar, TGI Fridays, Devon House. They have expos, evening events, weekend things to do. I'm talking more about places that you can go and eat, that you can go and relax, chill. And I actually did a video on the top 5 safety tips that I applied while living here. I'm going to put the link in the description below. You can check that out whenever you want to. So I hope that answered your question, Jess. Jess says, valid reason for living in Kingston. I can attest to that because I moved from St. Elizabeth to Spanish Town when I was younger and most of my younger cousins did that as well. Great that you could attend Kingston Night Market. And then the next thing I'm going to be talking about is something which is a little bit different. This is a bit more about my life right now in Jamaica. Much more reflective. I do talk about Jamaica being this amazing place to live and it absolutely is. And that's the right narrative that I want to always be pushing. I also want to get the right balance in my my life in Jamaica and some of the struggles that I've experienced as well, especially being part of the diaspora, the cultural differences and the nuances around my time here. If you have any questions around that, please let me know. I'm going to be talking about the struggles in Jamaica living here, what keeps me here sometimes when it gets a little bit rougher, and sometimes when I'm thinking I want to go back. So I'll see you soon. Peace.